You know, I've been in a pretty bad mood lately and I can't quite figure out why. Oh, that's probably why. Well, if you noticed, I planted corn. And a lot of corn. Like every acre's corn. And this is my big pivot. And the corn doesn't look very good. It should be a lot taller at this point. And anyway, that's been a struggle in its own. But on top of that, his tire fell off. So, first things first, we got to fix this. On top of that, I had other bad stuff happen on the farm. But yeah, so. And yeah, these tires, super light. That thing is buried in the dirt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to be fun at all. If you can see, that's the gearbox. The mounting flange is way down there, so that's funked. Glad the pivot's still standing. Corn is patchy. The voles, still a problem. So I really hope I can get this fixed, honestly. It's in a bad spot. The ground is super squishy. I mean like super squishy. And honestly, at the same time, I'm hoping this jack's tall enough. Oh, this ain't gonna be fun. That's how soft the ground is. Just broke that board in half. All right, so I'm back with thicker wood. Yeah, I get it. Highly unstable. And yeah, it's super light. Each of these spans is 177 foot long. And you know, these are 1/4 inch steel, everything's steel. So, you know, super lightweight. Ugh. 3 pumps down, like 100 to go. This is a mess. Get a longer handle. I think this handle's only so long for a reason, so that you can't like completely overload it. You know, this is the most fun I've had all week. You know, to add to this, it's like 95 degrees. It's hot. No humidity, so it's not terrible, but the wind's blowing, and people are like, oh, the wind's blowing, why are you complaining? I'm like, where I live, it's like a freaking hair dryer. That's exactly what I want, is a hair dryer blowing on me. There's a jacking up a pivot and killing corn. Yeah, pins aren't locking in anymore. That's great. Hammer time. Not having fun. Oh, hammer time. So on this jack right here, there's these 2 pins that go into these holes. And that's what, one unlocks, the other one locks. That's what, you know, lets it jack up and down. Can you guys see me? Yeah, you can see me pretty good. So, anyways, that thing is not... They're not locking in very good. So, hammer time. I don't think... I've had older versions of these jacks, and I've dealt with 3 new ones in like the last probably 2 years, and the new ones are garbage. So I'm gonna look and see if I can find a better brand for this style of jack. They're really dangerous, only use them if you have to, but I'll put it down there in the description for you in case you need one. What I really don't want to do is over jack it. Oh no, it's on a hump right here. Freaking great. So Actually, threw quite a few parts at this tower. Oh yeah, there's no studs. They just failed. So threw quite a bit of parts at this tower. New center drive, drive lines, new U joints. I think both the gearboxes were good. But anyway, we threw quite a bit of parts in general at all of our pivots just to get in the best shape as we could, because growing corn, you don't really want to be out in the corn when it gets honestly much taller than this, because it's not exactly easy to deal with. So, you know, and that's also why we went to these tall skinny tires, because they do a lot better. But it honestly, it looks like the threads just gave up. Like that one's broke off, thread's gone. So I came prepared for that. I have studs and lug nuts and all the goods. Oh, I didn't bring a cap for that. I wish I would have known. There's a little. So I'm having a great day, and we're gonna get her fixed up. You know, it's just part of it. Farm equipment likes to break. Irrigation equipment does too, unfortunately. So I'm gonna get this tire out of the way because I'm gonna need it out of the way. So see, they just like regular lug studs, they just pound right out. Yeah, the threads are gone on there. All right, let's get it cleaned up a little more. So I checked in the pickup. I don't have a punch, but I do have this bolt and a pair of pliers. That hurt a lot. So see if we can try to knock this stud no, that's wrong. That's exactly what I was afraid of. So I just stripped the, dang it. All right, it's been an hour or so. I tried to find something to fix this. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is just end up replacing this gearbox. Not that big of a deal. I can see it was leaking anyway. I am putting a gearbox on that I don't really want to put on, but so what I'm doing right now is I want to get these bolts so I can get it undone where I want it, but my jack is leaning quite aggressively, so I'm just going to go ahead and let the pivot walk forward. And it's nice that these are geared so low that I can almost basically do it by hand. So I'll get these bolts around, and that'll be far enough. About right there. In an effort to not lose the microphone, I'm gonna go ahead and strap it to my hat. So sorry it looks funny, but you know, in an effort not to lose my microphone. It's really sad too, that gearbox is pretty free movement, but he ain't got nothing to bolt the rim to, so I'm kind of glad we walked that up. I do not like that either. I'm probably gonna try to tighten that guy down 3/4. That probably is part of the reason it broke, is because it's got play here, so we'll try to eliminate that while we're here. I don't like, oh, well that doesn't help either. That's supposed to be bolted together, but U-joint is unbolted. We're gonna reuse this U-joint because I just put it on about, I don't know, 2 months ago. So gonna reuse that guy. What we have to do is unbolt the gearbox from this plate here. So basically it's pretty simple. There's 5 bolts back here that are 3/4 inch bolts. And of course they're full of mud because of reasons, but you just do that on there and they come right out. These look actually pretty new. Surprising. I'm glad I walked that forward. That makes me feel a lot better, even though that's still scary. Come on. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse these. A lot of times I won't, but these ones are in good shape, so we'll reuse them. And all 5 of them are here. I can't tell you how many times I've... Let's just say that you spend 400. The gearbox is 400 bucks. People spend the 400 bucks on the gearbox, but then they don't spend the $11 on the bolt kit. That's kind of ridiculous. Okay, as you can see, I'm struggling. These things are well over 100 pounds, and without the use of those cut-off bolts, it's very hard to do it by yourself. I've done it, but also something to consider is, goodness sakes, when it's dry, it's a little bit easier to do that kind of stuff. And I definitely just, well, I guess we got 4 bolts. Amateur hour. That's infuriating. So what I can do now, I have a couple of them in. I did have a couple of them in. I'm gonna snug this one on the bottom up a little bit just to pull it in. Like that. Unthread the studs that we used, like that. Put in a bolt. Sometimes you have to use pliers. I think I'm gonna have to on this one. All right, well, I'm gonna throw all this back together, and then you can see me struggle to put a tire on. All right, everything's back together. Even that bolt, I got it tightened up. So now, Well, that is all back together, ready to go. I'm fixing to go switch water because it's time to turn this pivot back on. Anyway, thanks for stopping in and watching. Next time we'll talk about what's been going on the farm. See you then.